Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin bubble news channel. Yeah, so when someone says price measured in fiat dollars, I almost cringe because it makes me think of a world where people steal money and value doesn't go where it should go through the free market force. That structure is making their whole lives worse and making it worse over time. Thanks for coming back to the channel, Crypto Family. This is an emoji from the Bitcoin bubble. And remember what you saw in that clip? Jeff Boo said that not having Bitcoin will make your life worse. Don't worry too much about the price of BTC either. In today's clip, he's going to talk about that. He will also talk about how AI is connected to Bitcoin and how AI will help Bitcoin in the long run. Besides that, he talks about whether now is a good time to buy a house. That is, you should buy Bitcoin. It tells everything he thinks. This is from the chat I just did with him on Natalie Brunell's channel. Call her out. There is a lot of information that is useful. You should see this through to the end. You can check out our Patreon if you want to see our special content and trade signs that only the Bitcoin bros get. That will be in the space below for comments. Now, let's watch the movie and see what Jeff has to say. This is how I see Bitcoin, which is very different from how most people do. It connects to almost everything else. And you know from my book that the whole thing can be boiled down to one idea: the natural state of the free market is deflation, and technology would speed up that deflation to an exponential rate. Deflation isn't something to be afraid of because it just means more output flowing to us so we can have good lives and do what we want. The market is naturally in that state, which means that anything that stops it from zero inflation, but from the indicated rate of deflation, which would be around -5 or -6% today, is a threat. And anything that stops that is not a method for running an economy. It is not a government. It is a method of control that works by taking things from you. So once you understand that to be true, and no one has argued with me on that, deflation is the normal state of a free market. That means that everything else in the current system is theft from you once you know that to be true. The political system is stuck on the question of who can steal from you the best. Really, that's what you're arguing. Who gains from this theft that you commit? Bitcoin is the only thing I know of that can keep you safe from that. It stands, and it's not because it's not a coin, it's an energy-bound system. It is a secure, open, decentralized, and open system that is limited by energy. It doesn't mind if you set a price for it. It doesn't matter if it's through money or pieces of paper that are being changed. It just keeps going forward. Based on Bitcoin, all prices are falling and always will, because it's the only thing that works in a free market. The things that are connected to the other machine are not. It's a method for control. As a way to judge Bitcoin, you should look at a system that has gained all of its wealth. I would even go so far as to say that it has protected its wealth. As assets, like the stock market, become more like money. Those who are aware of this and have seen financialization believe that it is the free market. When they see Bitcoin, they may wonder how they can use it to financialize even more things and keep the prices going up. And most of our economy, or at least a lot of it, is now based on finance and so on. On top of that, all of those things, and I can just do an easy math problem. The house I bought 4 years ago for $1.4 million was worth $2.1 million in cash today. But in Bitcoin, it was worth $300 Bitcoin back then, and it's worth 26 Bitcoin today. So my house will be worth 2 Bitcoins in 4 years. It makes sense to use Bitcoin to buy a house because you need it right away, but keep in mind that you're overpaying because the house is being treated like a financial asset, and its value is falling compared to Bitcoin. This is how the free market works. Think of AI as something we made to help us. It's a tool. It's a tool of the free market that gets better over time. In terms of Bitcoin, this means that all prices are falling faster than the marginal cost of production. When money is controlled at this rate, prices have to go up compared to the other system. As prices go up, there is no free market. That's what the money means, and I'm going to go back because this is so important. Deflation is the normal state of a free market. Just say that over and over and over again. Once you know that everything else is blocking it. If you think your prices are going up and this leader says there will be growth, all you have to do is listen to them talk about it today. They're talking about how faster deflation is caused by economic growth. What they're really saying is, we're going to change money faster so we can steal more from you. They're not talking about growth at all. Just remember that decline is the normal state of a free market. Then it's not a government system that stops it. It's not a method for making money. It's a method for control. This is very important because AI will move faster and faster, which it will do exponentially, and it will also merge with robots. There are robots that can do anything faster and better than you. When that company hires robots, you say you won't use them because they'll save you time and money, but you will because it's cheaper for you. It will be useful to you. They will lose money if they don't use that because you will choose something else. Because of your choices, prices should be going down, so shouldn't you benefit? In an economy that changes the prices of things and shares their wealth with everyone on Earth, Bitcoin does just that. As of right now, the world's balance sheet is worth about $900 trillion, and there are 21 million Bitcoins in circulation. This means that, as long as Bitcoin stays autonomous and safe, each Bitcoin is worth about $43 million. But that $900 trillion, that's 900 trillion split by 21 million, is repricing the other system. All it has to do to stay decentralized and safe for a certain amount of time. But the $900 trillion balance sheet has $400 trillion in debt on it right now. And that bill is already past due. If it was really marked to market, the world's balance sheet would not be $900 trillion. There would be a cascading crash of all property prices, banks would fail, and everything else would fall apart. So the only reason it's 900 trillion, which is pretty much how you measure the world, and you're part of that record, is because you think the debt is manageable and you'll vote for someone who manipulates money less instead of letting it fall apart. What does that mean? That means that in about 4 or 5 years, the $900 trillion balance sheet will not be $900 trillion, but $2 quadrillion. Then, if the value of Bitcoin compared to that balance sheet and the cost of living from that point on was 90 million Bitcoin, it would still buy the same things, right? What I'm going to say now is more important though. Prices will always go down. Because prices will always go down compared to Bitcoin, your $43 million will always be worth more than it was when you got it. As a general rule, if you ask yourself, how much do I own of the ledger? The answer is 900 trillion Bitcoins right now. Make sure you own at least that much in Bitcoin, and then start to understand what's going on. Start to spend less time on the system that's taking your attention away and more time on the system that's bringing people together and building